Welcome to Learners Hub Vellore. Hope you're all doing great. In the previous session, we saw about the uses of blood, the functions of blood, and the properties of blood. This session throws light on the composition of blood. Hope you're all ready. So let us see the composition of blood. Blood contains blood cells, which are called formed elements, and a liquid portion called plasma. There are three types of blood cells. They are red blood cells. You can call it as erythrocytes. White blood cells, you can call it as leukocytes. And platelets, you can call it as thrombocytes. Plasma. What is plasma? Plasma is the fluid part of blood. It contains 90 to 93% of water and 8 to 9% of solids. So the solids are organic or inorganic substances. Blood which is removed from the body has its natural tendency to clot. This can be prevented by an anticoagulant. If anticoagulated blood is separated, you can call it as plasma. If clotted blood is separated, you can call it as serum. In this picture, you can see two different test tubes or containers. You can tell here plasma has fibrinogen. That is, this is what type of blood? Anticoagulated blood. Anticoagulated blood has fibrinogen. That is an inactive substance. WBC and platelets can be seen and red blood cells can also be seen. Buffy coat is present. In serum, this is coagulated blood. That is after coagulation. In the blood clot, we can see fibrin. Here, the inactivated fibrinogen in the plasma has been converted into activated fibrin after the clot has formed. Hope this is clear. Coming to plasma, it is of three types. That is solids, water, gases. Solids are 7 to 8%, water is 92 to 93%, and gases are oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. Solids are of two types. Organic substances and inorganic substances. What are organic substances? Plasma proteins, amino acids, carbohydrates, fats, internal secretions, enzymes, non-protein nitrogenous substances, and antibodies. Coming to inorganic substances, they are sodium, calcium, potassium, magnesium, bicarbonate, chloride, phosphate, iodide, iron, and copper. Serum. What is serum? That is present after the blood has become clot, after the blood clot happens. So let us read this. Serum is a clear straw fluid that oozes out of a blood clot. We saw it earlier in that picture. When blood is collected in a container, it clots. We all know that. How? This is due to the conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin. When this happens, after 45 minutes, serum oozes out of the clot. So for clinical investigations, serum is separated from blood cells by centrifuging. Serum is different from plasma due to the absence of fibrinogen. We read it earlier. Serum contains all other constituents of plasma except fibrinogen. We all know that. Fibrinogen is absent in serum because it is converted into fibrin during blood clotting. Serum and plasma color varies in abnormal conditions. During hemolysis, what will happen? The color will be reddish. If there is jaundice, what will happen? The color will be dark yellow to yellowish green. Why this is cast? This is cast due to high level of bilirubin. What is bilirubin? A yellow-orange bile pigment. How is bilirubin formed? It is formed from the breakdown of red blood cells. Now coming to the functions of plasma, it keeps the body fluid so it can flow through the blood vessels to all parts of the body. It carries the formed elements, it carries nutrients, food material, oxygen to cells in various tissues, carries hormones. It maintains the water balance in our body. This is very important. It carries waste products, that is carbon dioxide from tissues to the excretory organs. It helps blood vessels to stop loss from bleeding. Helps control body temperature. It contains substances that clot the blood. It contains substances useful in protecting body from harmful agent. Plasma proteins. They make up 7% of a plasma. They are normally retained within the blood. How? They are too big in size. That's why they are retained, so that they cannot escape through the capillary pores into the tissues. They are responsible for creating osmotic pressure. This also you must remember, osmotic pressure of blood, which keeps plasma within circulation. What are the plasma proteins? They are albumins, globulins, and clotting factors. Coming to albumins, they are most abundant plasma protein. About 60% in total, synthesized by the liver. They maintain plasma osmotic pressure. They act as carrier molecule for free fatty acid, bilirubin, some drugs, and steroid hormones. Globulins, they are bigger than albumins. They act as immunoglobulins. Complex proteins produced by lymphocyte play a role in immunity. They transport hormones and minerals. Inhibitor of proteolytic enzymes. For example, you can tell macroglobulin inhibits trypsin activity. Clotting factors. What are they responsible for? They are responsible for blood coagulation. Plasma consists of clotting factors, and serum clotting factors are removed. Fibrinogen. It is the most abundant clotting factor. Clotting factors are synthesized in our liver. See the normal values, that is total proteins, serum albumin, serum globulin, albumin globulin ratio, and fibrinogen. Just take a look over it. Coming to the functions of plasma proteins. Fibrinogen is responsible for blood coagulation. Gamma globulins are helpful for defense mechanism of our body. Plasma proteins, they transport various substances in our blood. Example, albumin, alpha globulin, beta globulin for transport of enzymes and hormones, etc. Exert colloidal osmotic, that is oncotic pressure. Albumin regulates acid-base balance in our blood. They provide viscosity to blood, that is, they maintain our blood pressure. During fasting, inadequate food or protein intake, plasma proteins are utilized by body tissues as the last source of energy. Clinical significance. Hyperproteinemia. Hyper in the sense more. Protein. It is the elevation of all fractions of plasma proteins. Hyper in the sense more, that is elevation. How does this occur? When does this occur? This occurs during dehydration, acute infections, alcoholism, rheumatoid arthritis, etc. Coming to hypoproteinemia, hypo in the sense less, that is decreased. So this is due to decrease in plasma proteins. When does this occur? This occurs during diarrhea, burns, pregnancy, malnutrition, etc. Hope you all enjoyed this session. God willing, in our next session, we will focus on red blood cells. Thank you. Stay tuned for our latest updates.